What stage are proceedings at? How are you getting on?
So slowly, I suppose, is one way to describe it. But ultimately, this bill is quite literally a matter of life and death. And so it's right and proper that there are a number of amendments, both at stage 2 and I suspect again at stage 3. Members are engaged in the process, as you'd expect, but they're really exercised about I suppose getting this right and including amendments on it, and then of course we'll have stage 3 again to see what happens after that. I'd say so far, slightly disappointed that a number of what I would have considered reasonable amendments to the legislation have been rejected by the committee at stage 2. That is quite worrying actually. And I'm disappointed that those amendments, some of them have come from the hospice sector, others have come from disabled people in their organisations, others have come from a kind of human rights perspective, and a number of those have been rejected. Key safeguards that I think would have been in place. Now, I don't think it's going to make the front page news for me to tell you that I don't support the legislation and, amendments or otherwise, but nonetheless, if a bill were to go through at stage 3, I think it's important that it's a robust bill, and so I'm quite disappointed that some of the amendments have been rejected at stage 2.
Yeah, I suppose that is part of the process and all of this, but it does bring me back to actually something that Liam said a couple of weeks ago, that he didn't consider any of the amendments to be wrecking amendments, i.e. to just sort of take the bill out of action altogether. Would that be your analysis of the amendments too, Pam?
Yeah, I think myself and my colleagues have been quite careful in how we've approached this bill. I think we recognise that for many people it's deeply personal, regardless whether you support or don't support the bill. And this is literally about the sort of conversation you're having on a very deeply personal level with your family members, and also in your own mind and head at times as well. And so on that basis, I think people have been careful and looked at a series of amendments. Some of those I've submitted in my name. Whilst I don't support the legislation and won't support it at stage 3, I haven't brought any amendments that I think would wreck the bill, because I think as parliamentarians we've got a responsibility to do the job well. That's what stage 2 is about. That's what stage 3 is about. And so I hope that we can continue to take that approach. I'd like to see some more of the amendments go through though.